Good morning. I'm Dustin Nova, and thanks for tuning in. I'm 29 years old, and a couple months ago, I decided, you know what? I want a place of my own. I've never lived alone before. So, my entire life, I've, either lived with my family or a family member, or with a friend as a roommate. And I got to a point where I could technically afford to live alone. So, I wanted to try it. I thought it was worth the money, solitude. I like solitude. However, living alone, I'm learning a lot about myself living alone. And I think that's why I started watching a bunch of, I already have a YouTube addiction, but I started watching a bunch of Queso, the streamer. He's just so entertaining, so funny. And, I understand now why streamers and a bunch of YouTubers are so popular and successful, is because nowadays, we're the loneliest we ever been. Even if you don't live alone, I think we're like us people are the loneliest we've ever been. Unless it's always been like this. No, technology is for sure making us more lonely, right? Parasocial, they call it. Like, that's why people watch Asmongold, is for, it feels like you're hanging out with someone. So the solitude and the loneliness has made me more addicted to YouTube. So I'm 29, I'm living alone. I got no wife, no kids, not even a girlfriend. I'm maidenless. And hopefully a lot of you guys get that reference. I'm sure you do. It's from a popular game called Elden Ring, which I still haven't beat because it was so hard, I wasn't enjoying it. Maybe I'll go back to it and complete it someday, but like I said in my last video, I'm not really enjoying video games right now in general, but I want to start a gaming channel. So that's my YouTube dilemma. Actually, I have a couple of YouTube dilemmas. I have way too many interests. I am interested by almost everything, but I lack passion for almost anything. And I see all these successful YouTube videos that are dedicated to one thing, whether that be one game or one thing in life, like hiking, or survival challenges, like real life Bear Grylls stuff. Like that guy in Australia, I can't remember his channel name. I haven't watched him in a while, but that's my boy, But YouTube is just filled with anything. But you don't really see, unless I'm wrong, I'm sure there are channels like this, but channels that lack, content diversity, because I want to make videos about a bunch of different things, not just gaming. I want to make videos about, movie reviews, because there's some movies that I just love so much that I want to make a movie review. Kind of like Donkey, he's a gaming channel, but he'll release a movie review every once in a while. And I want to release album reviews, like music reviews. I just have so many ideas, and I don't know where exactly to start. So this morning I just decided I'm gonna just start somewhere and see what happens. and kind of against many YouTube help channels advice. I'm not going to aim for quality because the kind of quality that I want takes way too long, and I don't have the time to actually produce that kind of quality. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to make a few videos about overthinking my entire process of how I'm going to start and just see what happens. Because there's just so many channels I'm seeing. I feel like within 2024 and now within 2025, now is the time to start YouTube. Think of 10 years from now. I'm getting channel recommendations. Like in my recommendations, I'm getting videos that have 10 views and channels that have less than 1,000 subscribers. So that's never really happened before until last year is when I started noticing it. So if YouTube is finally recommending content from such small channels, I think it's my time to start. So yeah, I just have way too many interests, and I don't know what this channel is really going to be or look like, but gotta start somewhere, right? And I don't know how long I'm going to do this for, whether it be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years. My biggest, I would say, weakness, I don't know if that's the right term, but I mentioned it in the last video, bad habit, I guess I would say, is I tell people my ideas and then don't do them. I get these ideas, I get inspired, I get motivated. I even make a little bit of effort towards those ideas, and then I just don't follow through with the entire plan. And I think I forgot to mention this in the last video, but the biggest one of those blunders that I've done recently is starting a pool service company. I wanted to start my own thing, be a one-man show for a year, maybe a year and a half, or maybe 2 years, and then hire an employee to, clean pools for me while I do the equipment installs and stuff like that. But I don't really want that. It's a good idea. I'd be essentially doing the same work I'm doing now, but working for myself. And you've probably heard this before. I've heard it countless times. You're not really ever going to achieve wealth if you're working for someone else, unless you're like just such a high skilled profession, like being a doctor, I guess, or a lawyer, a highly paid, highly skilled profession that took many years of schooling. So yeah, 29, living alone, not enough time to edit and push out super high quality content, but more than enough time to do stuff like this. Make videos about overthinking, making videos on YouTube. And yeah, so again, I have way too many interests, and I don't know what this channel is going to look like, but I got to start somewhere. But the new business thing, the business idea, right? I even went out and bought my own truck. I bought a used truck and was thinking about starting my own thing on the side and working on Saturdays and cleaning maybe 10 or 15 pools on a Saturday, and then extending that into Sunday and working as many weeks with no days off as I can until the point where I have enough money saved to go out on my own, and then grow the business from there. But it's just a bunch of stuff I don't want to do. What I would rather do is, I just think this is a good, perfect time in my life to try and start a YouTube channel, because it's something I've always wanted to do. And hopefully, maybe eventually make a livable income off of that, off of producing content, putting content out into the world. Because a big, I'm out here in Phoenix, Arizona. It's like the biggest area for the pool industry in the country, if not the world. Considering how many pools there are in Phoenix, Arizona. I'd rather create content and make a living just getting by than continue down the road of, at least that's how I feel right now, continue down the road of trying to start a company, working, really hard. One reason for that is my body. I'm 29 years old and I'm developing issues from like overuse of certain muscles. Like the tendon that runs down my leg right here is always inflamed. It's actually interfering with how I walk. It's weird. I don't have a limp per se. I don't think people would notice. Actually, it's kind of weird. My step grandpa, he noticed. He was like, Dustin, you're looking a lot stiffer. Like just your movements, the way you walk. Are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay. I mean, I am stiffer. I do need to stretch more and stuff. But I was surprised he noticed. He was like, I don't know. He just noticed it. No one else has really noticed it. But yeah, he was a pool guy, and he was like, you're gonna want to try to get into a managerial position soon. I mean, your body could only take so much. And I was like, yeah, well, whatever. Hopefully, I don't know. So yeah, too long, didn't read TLDR of the video. I have a lot of interests. I am 29 and I'm living alone. I don't know what this YouTube channel is going to be, but I want to put out whatever I want. And hopefully the stuff that's easy to edit. Editing is way harder than I thought it would be. I mean, I have edited before in the past, but I completely forgot how time consuming it is. Super jealous of the people that could just sit down and record everything in one take and call it a day, post it to YouTube, and get a few 100,000 views. Hopefully I can do that someday. But continuing the TLDR, started the business, or I keep forgetting to mention that following through with ideas, I started the business. I actually created an LLC and haven't even done any work on it. So that's like another thing I have to work, like, what am I going to do when it comes time to paying taxes if I made no income off of the business that I started, the LLC? Oh man, it's all a mess. And I kind of just, if you're going to be like the original plan, if I was going to be working every Saturday and then eventually every Sunday until I had enough, and every day of the week until I had enough money saved to go out on my own and pay my bills for like 3 or 6 months. I mean, you got to pay for business insurance and get bonded and get a license, like a certain license to do all the work that I was planning on doing. I don't know, it's overwhelming. And this last week it's February still, but this last week we were hitting the weather around Phoenix and Scottsdale, we reached mid 80s, and it was a taste. It was a preview of summer. And I know mid 80s in Arizona is like perfect if you're not working. It's like nice and warm, but this last week was the first week in a long time that I've consistently was working within my sweat. Just being sweaty, and it was a preview of summer, and I was like, you know what? I think it's time to start a YouTube channel. That's what I want to do. I would love to create content and live off of it, even if it's just getting by, because I'm a creative person. But yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching.